Raghunatha Swami. And it's also the anniversary.
Y también es el aniversario.
Yeah, when Bhaktisvarupa Damodar Swami was put into samadhi.
Cuando se puso en samadhi a Śrīla Bhaktisvarupa Damodar.
Yeah. In Sakadasi.
En Ekadasi.
Fasting from greens and brains.
Ayuno de cereales y legumbres. In Spain was yesterday. In Spain we celebrated Ekadasi yesterday.
Did we?
Today for us is Dwadasi.
Oh, really? Okay.
The moon.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. It's interesting. Okay. Dwadasi. Okay. Okay, so we have Prabhupada liked us to sing this song on the disappearance day of famous acharyas.
A Śrīla Prabhupada le gustaba que cantáramos esta canción los días de la desaparición de los acharyas famosos.
Yeah, it's by Narottam Das Thakur.
Es de Narottam Das Thakur.
And let's see. One time in Los Angeles.
Una vez en Los Ángeles.
It was the disappearance day of one of the acharyas.
Era el día de la desaparición de uno de los acharyas.
And Prabhupada mentioned this song.
Y Śrīla Prabhupada mencionó esta canción.
And he said, does anybody know it?
Y preguntó, ¿alguien se la sabe?
Can they lead the song?
Y dirigió la canción.
And nobody knew the song.
Y nadie sabía la canción.
So, everybody missed the opportunity.
Y todos se perdieron la oportunidad.
Jaya Nilo Premadana Karuna Pracho 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 Jaya Yeah. Okay. Om Agyanatamirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Jaya Nilo Prema Dana Koruna Prachur. Word by word meaning.
Significado, palabra por palabra.
Yeah. So it says, where is that great Acharya?
¿Dónde está ese gran Acharya?
Advaita Acharya.
Advaita Acharya.
Who brought the treasure of divine love.
Que trajo el tesoro del amor divino.
And was filled with compassion and mercy.
Y estaba lleno de compasión y misericordia.
Where has such a personality gone?
¿A dónde fue semejante personalidad?
Yeah. Of course, we all know that, Advaita Acharya was in Navadvip.
Por supuesto, todos sabemos que Advaita Acharya estaba en Navadvip.
And it was a big center of education, learning.
Aquel era un gran centro de educación y de sabiduría.
Yeah, many very big professors were there with their schools.
Y había grandes profesores con sus escuelas.
And that's what Bhatta Acharya means.
Y eso es lo que significa Bhatta Acharya.
Yeah. This distinguished professor. Yeah. But almost everybody were Shaktas.
Pero casi todos eran Shaktas.
Yeah, they were worshiping the energies.
Adoraban a las energías.
Durga, things like that. Yeah.
Así, Durga.
And they were always concerned with material results.
Y siempre estaban preocupados de los resultados materiales.
Janmaishwarya Shrutasribir. Yeah. Good birth.
Buen nacimiento.
Aishwarya, good wealth.
Buena riqueza.
Good education.
Una gran educación.
And very good looks.
Una buena apariencia.
You can be rich.
Puede ser rico.
Beautiful.
Bello.
Educated.
Educado.
And cultured.
Y con educación.
No. With a nice family.
Con una buena familia.
every night in CNN.
Así, ¿no?
Cada noche in CNN.
Ay, cada noche sales en el CNN.
It's very, very intoxicating.
Es algo que intoxica mucho.
So everybody in Mayapur was intoxicated with material opulence.
Todos en Mayapur estaban intoxicados con la opulencia material,
But internally suffering.
pero internamente sufrían.
Yeah, I have everything, but I'm very unhappy.
Tengo de todo, pero soy muy infeliz.
Yeah, there are many nice songs about this, no?
Y hay muchas canciones sobre esto.
People who have all material opulence, no?
Gente que tiene toda la opulencia material
And then they commit suicide.
y se suicida.
Yeah, because internally they're not happy.
Porque internamente no están felices.
Yeah. So Advaita Acharya has so much compassion for these people.
Advaita Acharya tenía tanta compasión por estas personas.
He was the leader of the Vaishnavas.
Era el líder de los Vaishnavas.
I mean, all these people were very big.
Toda esta gente era gente muy grande.
How big was Lord Chaitanya?
¿Cuán grande era el señor Chaitanya? De tamaño.
2 metros, más de 2 metros.
Yeah, maybe. Very big and very elegant, you know.
Era muy alto y muy elegante.
So Advaita Acharya, Rupa Gosvāmī,
Advaita Acharya y Rupa Gosvāmī
they were all very aristocratic looking people. You know?
era gente de una apariencia muy aristocrática.
Just by seeing them, you would, you know, be respectful. You know?
Solamente de verlo ya sentía gran respeto.
So I think Advaita Acharya lived like, what, 140 years or something?
Advaita Acharya vivió como unos 140 años así.
Like that, something. It was very strange, you know. But he was more like, what's the term? Sadhana bhakti.
Pero él estaba muy determinado en su sadhana bhakti.
Yeah. Like people go to the Catholic Church, you know.
Es como la gente que se va a la iglesia católica
And they do rituals.
y hacen sus
They
rituales,
offer formal prayers.
ofrecen oraciones formalmente.
So that was the idea of bhakti before Lord Chaitanya came.
Esa era la idea del bhakti antes de que vino el señor Chaitanya.
And then Lord Chaitanya started singing and dancing like a madman.
Y entonces el señor Chaitanya empezó a cantar y a bailar como un loco.
Yeah, so Advaita Acharya was having a hard time accepting this.
Y a Advaita Acharya le costaba aceptar esto.
But then finally, yes, he accepted it.
Pero al final lo aceptó.
And he started engaging in food fights with Lord Nityananda.
Y empezó a ocuparse en peleas de Vrajamandala con el señor Nityananda.
Yeah. So, but he's the person who called Krishna.
Pero él es la persona que llamó a Krishna.
One time Nimai was joking.
Una vez Nimai estaba bromeando.
I think they were at Advaita Acharya's house.
Creo que estaban en la casa de Advaita Acharya.
And he said, I was sleeping peacefully.
Yo estaba durmiendo tranquilamente.
And this old man started screaming,
Y este anciano empezó a gritar,
making all this noise.
haciendo todos esos ruidos.
Yeah, so I had to wake up and find out what was happening.
Y me tuve que despertar para ver qué pasaba.
So he's describing himself as
Y él se describe como
Mahavishnu, something like that. Yeah. So many very confidential dealings
Y así hay muchos tratos, muchas relaciones confidenciales
between Advaita Acharya and Lord Chaitanya.
entre Advaita Acharya y el señor Chaitanya.
But he's the person who called, Krishna to come.
Pero él es la persona que pidió a Krishna que descendiera.
And of course, that's an entire story by itself.
Y eso en sí es toda una historia.
Yeah. And then he says, kaha means where is. Right?
Y después dice caja. Caja significa dónde está.
Yeah. Train station kaha.
¿Dónde está la estación de tren?
Kaha means where is. You know this.
Caja.
Cigarette not pichiega. Hindi's nice.
El hindi es bonito.
Yeah, Bhavananda started teaching Bengali.
Pavana empezó a enseñar Bengali
and Prabhupada said, tell him not to do that.
y Prabhupada le dijo, no, dile que no haga eso.
Tell him to teach Hindi.
Dile que enseñe hindi.
Yeah, if you want to preach in India, you should learn Hindi.
Si quieres predicar a la India, tienes que aprender hindi.
It's nice.
Está bien.
Yeah, many Spanish words are the same as Hindi words.
Hay muchas palabras españolas idénticas a las palabras indias.
Yeah. Camisa, camis.
Camisa, camis.
Mesa, mej.
Mesa, mesh.
Parda, pared.
Parva, pared.
And these are all, I think, Arabic words.
Shabi.
Yeah, these are all Arabic words. Yeah.
Y esas son las palabras arábicas.
Yeah. So it's nice.
Está bien, es bonito.
Yeah. So, Advaita Acharya was, so then kaha. The word kaha appears again and again.
Y aquí la palabra caja aparece una y otra vez.
Mahaprasadam kaha. Where is it?
¿Dónde está el Mahaprasada?
Yeah. It is.
Idarhe.
No. Yeah. Kaha mora, my, where is my? Kaha mora.
¿Dónde está mi?
Kaha mora swarup rupa kaha sanatan. Kaha dasa Raghunatha Patita Pavana. Yeah. And he can say my.
Puedes decir mi.
No, my.
Mío.
Yeah. Because he's living with these people, no?
Porque él vivía con estas personas.
Did Narottam meet Lord Chaitanya?
Narottam se encontró con el señor Chaitanya.
No, después.
Yeah. How many years did he miss him by?
¿Por cuántos años no coincidió?
100 y pico.
Huh? Not too many.
No,
Muy corto.
it's not clear. The dates of Narottam Thakur from the research I did are not exactly, so it's unclear.
I know,
But
yeah.
it's very few.
Yeah. You know the story of Ayodhya Bhakti Bringa Maharaj, no?
¿Sabéis la historia de Ayodhya Bhaktisvarupa Swami Maharaj?
Maybe 10 years ago.
Hace 10 años,
2014 or something.
2014,
He had to go to the immigration services in Delhi.
tenía que ir a los servicios de inmigración en Delhi
To get his visa renewed.
para que le renovaran la visa.
And anybody who's dealt with Indian bureaucracy,
Y cualquiera que haya tratado con la burocracia india,
knows this can be a process extending over many lifetimes.
es un proceso que se puede extender durante varias vidas.
So he finally found the place in Delhi where the government offices were.
Finalmente encontró el sitio en Delhi donde estaban las oficinas del gobierno.
And then he found the building which had the immigration visa services for foreigners.
Y encontró el edificio donde estaban las oficinas para el servicio de visado para extranjeros.
And it had been built by the British.
Esa había sido construido por los británicos.
That was falling apart. Very old.
Entonces, cayó en pedazos, un edificio muy viejo.
So then finally he found the office, which was dealing with the visas.
Y finalmente encontró la oficina que se encargaba de los visados.
And there may be 6 people with their desks inside,
Y ahí vio que había como 60 escritorios.
And they said, you want to talk to Rajiv. Rajiv will help you.
Y le dijeron, tienes que hablar con Rajiv, él te va a ayudar.
And Rajiv had all these papers on his desk,
Y Rajiv tenía la mesa llena de papeles,
and rubber stamps,
sellos.
And so Maharaj went over to him and said, I want to renew my visa.
Y Maharaj fue a él y le dijo, quiero renovar mi visa.
So the boy looked at him,
Y el muchacho lo miró.
and he said, well, okay, sit down.
Le dijo, vale, siéntese.
Yeah. And he said, do you have this form? Do you have a checking account? Have you done this? Have you done that?
Aquí tienes este formulario, tienes una cuenta bancaria, has hecho esto, has hecho lo otro.
Okay, you have to get this form filled out. You have to do that.
Tienes que rellenar el formulario, tienes que hacer esto.
And my Maharaj could see that this was going to take maybe 2 days. You know?
Y Maharaj se dio cuenta de que eso le iba a llevar por lo menos 2 días.
And he was looking a little worried.
Y estaba preocupado.
And the boy said, well, look, I'll help you.
Y el chico le dijo, no se preocupe, yo le ayudo.
So he locked his desk. He said, come with me.
Cerró su despacho y le dijo, venga conmigo.
And they went down the hall to one office.
Fueron a una oficina.
Then they went back up some very old stairs.
Después subieron por unas escaleras muy antiguas
To another office.
a otra oficina.
And he was making the other people stop their work and take care of Maharaj's application.
Y empezó a pedirle a la gente que se preocuparan de Maharaj y de su aplicación.
Then after about 40 minutes, everything was finished.
Y después de 40 minutos ya estaba todo terminado.
So he brought him back to his desk and he was finishing everything.
Lo trajo de vuelta a su despacho y ahí terminaron todos los detalles.
And he said, you know, the reason I'm helping you so much
Mira, ¿sabes por qué te estoy ayudando tanto?
is because you're a member of ISKCON.
Es porque tú eres un miembro de ISKCON.
Yeah, you're the disciple of Śrīla Prabhupada.
Eres un discípulo de Śrīla Prabhupada.
And then he said, 1 year ago, I was so unhappy.
Hace un año yo estaba tan triste.
You know, should I try and become a movie star in Bollywood?
Quizás me podría haber intentado ser una estrella de Bollywood.
Should I take care of my parents?
Tendría que haberme preocupado de mis
So I
padres.
was very, very unhappy.
Estaba muy infeliz.
But then I got Śrīla Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita.
Y me conseguí el Bhagavad Gita de Śrīla
And he
Prabhupada.
pulled it out of his desk.
Y lo sacó de su escritorio.
And he said, now everything is so clear and I'm so happy.
Y ahora todo está tan claro y soy tan feliz.
Do you think if I wrote to Prabhupada, he would answer me?
¿Piensa que si le escribo a Prabhupada me va a responder?
This was 2014.
Eso era 2014.
Yeah. And Maharaj could tell
Y Maharaj podría haberle dicho.
he had a completely personal relationship with Prabhupada.
Podría haber que él tenía una relación muy personal con Śrīla
Yeah,
Prabhupada.
from reading his books and everything else. Yeah.
Y por haber leído sus libros y todo lo demás.
And then it's like, he had to tell him, he said, actually, Prabhupada left his body in 1977.
Y le dijo, bueno, Śrīla Prabhupada dejó el cuerpo en 1977.
It's like somebody coming in.
Y vio que alguien entraba,
Is there somebody here named Deva Bhatta?
alguien que se llamaba Desaparición.
He said, I have some very bad news from Argentina
Traigo noticias muy tristes de
about
Argentina,
your father.
de tu padre.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is exactly what happened. The boy just fell apart.
Eso es como si hubiera pasado eso, ¿no? El chico pues se le rompió el corazón.
Yeah, and everybody else was looking what happened.
Miraba, ¿qué ha pasado?
Yeah. So Narottam's in the same category, no?
Y Anarottam está en la misma categoría.
Yeah, he just missed seeing Lord Chaitanya.
Él, por poco, no vio a Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
You might be able to see his footprints even, right?
Puede que incluso hubiera visto sus huellas.
Yeah. And everybody else, he knew them personally.
Y todos le conocieron personalmente.
Kaha Mora Swarup, Rupa, Kaha Sanatan, Kaha Mora Raghunatha, Dasa, Raghunatha Patita Pavana, Kaha Mora Bhatta Yuga, Kaha Kavirāja, Ekakale Kotagela Gauranatha Raj. And we're in Lord Chaitanya, Ekakale. Well, all of a sudden.
Y de repente,
Yeah, where has that great dancer gone?
¿a dónde se fue de repente ese maravilloso bailarín?
Yeah. So he's writing these songs, no?
Y él escribe estas
And
canciones
these are meditations, right?
y son meditaciones,
Yeah, means of communicating things to people.
son medios para comunicar cosas a las personas.
I will smash my head against the rocks.
Voy a aplastar mi cabeza contra una roca.
I will enter into fire.
Voy a entrar en el fuego.
Where will I find Lord Gauranga?
¿Dónde voy a encontrar al Señor Gauranga?
The reservoir of all wonderful qualities.
La fuente de todas las cualidades maravillosas.
Yeah. Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga,
incapaz de conseguir la compañía de Sri Gauranga,
accompanied by all these devotees,
acompañado de todos estos devotos,
in whose association
en cuya compañía
he performed his pastime.
llevó a cabo estos pasatiempos,
Narottam simply weeps.
Narottam simplemente llora.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So very transparent song, no?
Una canción muy transparente.
Yeah, we can begin to understand his situation, his feelings,
Podemos empezar a entender su situación, sus sentimientos.
and I was trying to find his biography, no?
Estaba intentando de encontrar su biografía.
And there's quite a bit of difference in the dates.
Y hay muchas diferencias en las fechas.
Yeah, but generally it says he only lived 30 years.
Y normalmente se dice que vivió solo 33 años.
Yeah, 30.
30.
I don't know, different ideas. You know. He was a very dependent personality.
Era una personalidad muy
Dependiente.
dependiente.
Yeah, he couldn't live without Rupa Gosvāmī and Sanatana Gosvāmī.
No podía vivir sin Rupa Gosvāmī y Sanatana Gosvāmī.
Yeah, they're all manjaris. Yeah.
Son todos manjaris.
Yeah, who's the only Saki amongst them?
¿Y quién era la única Saki en medio de todos?
Swarup Damodar.
Damodar.
Yeah, everybody else is just internally little girls. Yeah.
Todos internamente eran chicas muy jóvenes.
Raghunatha Swami says,
Raghunatha Swami dice,
Rupa and Sanatana have gone.
Rupa y Sanatana se han
I'm
partido.
going to kill myself
Me voy a matar.
by jumping off of Govardhan Hill.
Saltando desde la colina de Govardhan.
It's very interesting, no?
Eso es muy interesante.
Yeah, because if you try to kill yourself now by jumping off of Govardhan,
Porque si trata de matarte saltando de la colina de Govardhan hoy en día,
you probably have to do it like maybe 5, 6 times or something.
lo tendrás que hacer por lo menos 5 o 6 veces.
So even 500 years ago,
Incluso hace 500 años
it was much taller, no?
era más alta.
Yeah. We're amongst the last generations that will see Govardhan, no?
Nosotros estamos entre las últimas generaciones que vamos a poder ver a Govardhan.
Yeah. Everything's just disappearing, changing.
Todo está desapareciendo, cambiando.
If you come into the temple room
Si entráis en la sala del templo
and you see some devotee with the Charnamrita
y veis a un devoto con el Charanamrita
brushing his teeth,
cepillando los dientes,
it's shocking, no?
os vais a quedar asombrados.
Yeah. But all the kundas in Vrindavan are like Charnamrita.
Todos los kundas de Vrindavan son como Charanamrita.
And this is what people do, no?
Y eso es lo que hace la gente.
Some places are protected, like Radhakund.
Algunos lugares están protegidos, como
But
Radhakunda.
the rest, people, they commit so many offenses.
Y en los demás, la gente lleva a cabo tantas ofensas.
So all these places are becoming covered.
Y así poco a poco todos estos lugares están quedando cubiertos.
So people don't commit offenses.
Para que la gente no los ofenda.
By the end of Kali Yuga,
Al final de Kali Yuga,
all of the holy places in Vrindavan will be covered.
todos los lugares sagrados de Vrindavan estarán cubiertos.
All the spiritual aspects of Vrindavan will be covered.
Todos los aspectos espirituales de Vrindavan estarán cubiertos.
Except for one feature.
Menos un aspecto.
What is that feature?
¿Cuál es ese aspecto?
The dust.
Huh?
The dust. The dust of Vrindavan?
Yeah.
El polvo de Vrindavan.
Yeah. There's nothing more merciful than the dust of Vrindavan.
No hay nada más misericordioso que el polvo de Vrindavan.
So when you come back from India,
Así que cuando vuelves de la India,
you can bring a big bag of dirt.
puedes traerte una gran bolsa de polvo.
Yeah. One time I was coming through New York.
Una vez pasaba por Nueva York.
I think people in New York are the most sarcastic people on the face of the earth, no?
Creo que la gente de Nueva York es la gente más sarcástica que hay en el
And
planeta.
it's so cosmopolitan,
Muy tan cosmopolitas.
We've seen everything,
Ya lo sabemos todo.
New York.
Somos de Nueva York.
Yeah. So I was bringing some dirt,
Y yo traía un poco de tierra.
Two immigration guys were going everything,
Y ahí había dos hombres empleados de inmigración.
And the guy came to me and he said, this is holy dirt, right?
Y uno le dijo, esta es tierra sagrada, ¿verdad?
We get a lot of people from Israel bringing this.
Hay mucha gente de Israel que trae cosas así.
Yeah, we allow a little bit of holy dirt,
Permitimos un poco de tierra. ¿Sí?
We're New York.
En Nueva York.
Damodar Maharaj? Damodar Swami? He's from New York.
Damodar Swami es de Nueva York.
So he told me one time he was coming back to the temple on the subway.
Y una vez volvía al templo en metro.
Yeah. And he was like Christmas time.
Era Navidades.
Maybe like 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something.
Las 5 de la tarde.
And devotees were putting on Santa Claus suits.
Y los devotos estaban vistiendo de Papá Noel
to collect money for devotional service.
Para salir a recaudar dinero para el servicio devocional.
So there's one Bengali sannyasi.
Y había un sannyasi bengali.
Patita Swami. Yeah. He's real robust,
Bastante robusto.
And very dark complexion,
Muy de complejo, así de piel muy oscura.
So Bhakti Maharaj says he got on, sat down.
Y Bhakti Maharaj.
No, I'm sorry, Bhakti Damodar Swami, yeah.
Damodar Swami dijo que lo sentó.
And everybody was there, all New York people,
Y toda la gente era de Nueva York.
Yeah. Then Patita Swami got on.
Y entonces
Patita Swami got on the train.
esta persona entró en el tren.
And he didn't see Damodar Maharaj.
Y no vio a Damodar Maharaj.
So he sat down.
Y se sentó.
And he was in a Santa Claus suit.
Y estaba vestido de Papá Noel.
Yeah, so here's a black Santa Claus.
Y era un Papá Noel negro.
People in New York are looking.
Y la gente de Nueva York lo miraba así, de reojo.
And after resting for a couple seconds,
Y después de descansar un par de segundos,
he started taking off his Santa Claus suit.
se quitó la ropa de Papá Noel.
Yeah, he was holding a cloth around his mouth.
Y estaba poniendo una tela
Yeah,
alrededor.
taking his pants off in the subway.
Se puso una tela alrededor y empezó a quitarse los pantalones.
Yeah, and then he put on his sannyasi suit.
Y se puso su ropa de sannyas.
So Damodar Maharaj was looking at these people,
Y Damodar Maharaj observaba a la gente.
And he said, this was almost too much for them.
Y dijo, esto era casi demasiado para ellos.
First, the black Santa Claus gets on,
Primero sube un Papá Noel al metro
and it changes right into Hare Krishna.
y se transforma en un Hare Krishna.
They were looking at the next stop.
Y estaban mirando a ver cuando llegaba la siguiente parada.
Hare Krishna. So Narottam knew all these people.
Así que Narottam conocía a toda esta gente.
It was like having maybe 7 Śrīla Prabhupādas here at one time. If Śrīla Prabhupada was here in Vrajamandala, alive, doing things.
Si Śrīla Prabhupada estuviese aquí en Nueva Vrajamandala, vivo, haciendo cosas.
Yeah, doing different things,
Haciendo diferentes cosas.
Yeah, traveling to Malaga, going different places.
Yendo a Málaga, diferentes lugares.
Organizing festivals.
Organizando festivales.
They were all such incredible personalities.
Eran personalidades tan increíbles.
Yeah, it was a very mystical time, no?
Era una época muy mística.
Yeah, this was, when Columbus was discovering America.
Cuando Colón descubrió América.
And now science has made everything so boring.
Ahora la ciencia ha convertido todo en algo tan aburrido.
Yeah, it's made everything mundane,
Todo se ha convertido en algo mundano.
But this time there were many mystical processes.
Pero en aquel entonces había muchos procesos místicos.
Even now in India, you meet people who are, have some, potency and stuff.
Y aún hoy en día te encuentras con gente en la India que tiene esa potencia.
Yeah. So this is the anniversary of the disappearance of Raghunatha, Raghunatha Bhatta, and Krishnadas Kavirāja.
Hoy el día de la desaparición de Raghunatha, Bhatta y Krishnadas Kavirāja.
In Radhakunda, there's a very nice, samadhi memorial.
En medio de Radhakunda hay un samadhi memorial.
Then,
Samadhi.
then next to that is Krishnadas Kavirāja's traditional ashram.
Y ahí al lado está el ashram tradicional de Krishnadas Kavirāja.
And apparently it's been passed down with a lot of fidelity. All these places have been passed down with a lot of fidelity.
Y estos lugares se han traspasado de uno a otro con mucha fidelidad.
Yeah, where Janava sat.
Donde se sentaba Janava.
Yeah. And so they're very stimulating.
Y es muy estimulante.
Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam. Pada Sevanam includes going to these holy places.
Pada Sevana incluye visitar estos lugares sagrados.
And it's not recommended in Kali Yuga.
No se recomienda en Kali Yuga.
Because they're perverted in many ways.
Porque está desvirtuado de diferentes maneras.
Yeah, but if you become purified,
pero si te purificas,
if you become educated,
y si recibes educación,
if we have nice Vaishnavas for guides,
y si tienes algún Vaishnava bueno que te guíe,
then you can see these places and you can take advantage of them.
Puedes visitar estos lugares y beneficiarte.
Yeah. When Krishnadas Kavirāja was there,
cuando estaba allí Krishnadas Kavirāja,
there were many forests at that time, no?
Había muchos bosques.
Yeah, it was very flowers and everything.
Había muchas flores, mucha vegetación.
And then they had different Vajan Kutirs.
Y habían diferentes Vajan Kutirs.
And then they would meet with each other and talk.
Y ahí se encontraban y hablaban.
Yeah. How old was Krishnadas Kavirāja when Lord Chaitanya was born?
¿Cuántos años tenía Krishnadas Kavirāja cuando nació el Señor Chaitanya?
How old was Lord Chaitanya when Christopher Columbus discovered America?
¿Cuántos años tenía Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cuando Colón descubrió América?
Well, he discovered the Bahamas, didn't he?
¿Ah?
He discovered the Bahamas, right?
Él descubrió las Bahamas.
No?
Maharaj dice que Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tenía 6 años.
6 years old, yeah. So very mystical time, no?
Era una época muy mística.
Yeah. So I think it says, Krishnadas Kavirāja, the Wikipedia says.
La Wikipedia dice de Krishnadas Kavirāja.
Krishnadas Kavirāja was born in 1496.
Que nació en 1496.
Yeah. So he would have been 10 years old, 10 years younger than Lord Chaitanya.
Y entonces era 10 años más joven que Sri Chaitanya.
Yeah, because I always think of him as being very old, no?
Yo siempre pienso que él era muy anciano.
Yeah, but actually that was because, he was, it's interesting.
Y bueno, eso es porque él se deterioró.
Yeah. And also, Narottam,
y también Narottam,
some people say he disappeared in 1587.
Hay gente que dice que él partió en 1587.
Yeah, other people say 1550. No, sorry, that's going to get over. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti was born in 1626.
Y que Vishwanath Chakravarti nació en 1526.
So it's basically like 40 years after.
Como 40 años después.
Yeah. So there's in the Parampara.
Y así en el Parampara.
Appears there's 3 generations of Chakravartis.
Aparecen 3 generaciones de Chakravartis.
Between Narottam and Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Entre Narottam y Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Yeah, so there doesn't have to be a Sampradaya Acharya in every generation.
No es que tenga que haber una acharya de Sampradaya en cada generación.
Yeah, they may be very purified Madhyamadikaris.
Puede que haya Madhyamadikaris muy purificados.
Or even Uttamadikaris.
E incluso Uttamadikaris.
Yeah, but then okay, they all tell Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Pero todos le dicen que Vishwanath Chakravarti.
Hey, tell us what Narottam means by this.
Y le preguntaban qué quería decir Narottam cuando escribía esto.
So Prabhupada doesn't say.
Y Prabhupada no dice
that Narottam initiated Vishwanath Chakravarti.
No dice que Narottam iniciara a Vishwanath Chakravarti.
He says he accepted him as his servant.
Dice que lo aceptó como sirviente.
Yeah. So it's very subtle.
Es algo muy sutil.
But the experience is direct.
Pero la experiencia es directa.
Yeah, by the mercy of the Parampara.
Por la misericordia del Parampara.
So any questions or comments?
Hay preguntas, comentarios.
Yo tengo entendido que Raghunatha Thakur compartió con Śrīla Acharya y Shyamananda Prabhu en el ashram de Gosvāmī. Podría un poco reflejar esa época de estudiantes.
We have understand that Raghunatha Thakur shared a time in the ashram of Jiva Gosvāmī with Śrīla Acharya and Shyamananda Pandit. Can you speak about that time?
Not too much. But they were all three, they were Sankirtan partners.
No estuvieron ahí mucho tiempo, pero eran compañeros de Sankirtan.
And Jiva Gosvāmī was their Acharya.
Y el Jiva Gosvāmī estaba allí.
And then there were different pastimes they had.
Y tuvieron diferentes pasatiempos.
They were taking books to Bengal, no?
Y llevaron los libros a Bengal.
There's a whole story about that.
Y hay toda una historia sobre eso.
And Shyamananda,
Y Shyamananda,
Dukhi Krishna, no? Same person. One thing I remember was they were especially preaching by festivals.
y lo que tengo entendido es que ellos predicaban haciendo festivales.
Yeah, they weren't distributing books person to person on the street.
No distribuían libros uno a uno en la calle.
It was a different atmosphere.
Era otra atmósfera diferente.
Yeah, books were different things.
Los libros eran cosas diferentes.
So what they would do, they would organize festivals.
¿Y qué hacían? Organizaban festivales.
Yeah, for different pastimes of Krishna, like that, Lord Chaitanya.
Para diferentes pasatiempos de Krishna y del Señor
And
Chaitanya.
these would go on for several days,
Y eso duraban varios días.
with lectures,
Con clases,
aratiks and abhisheks,
artis, abhisheks.
many brahmins,
Y había muchos brahmanas.
and what else? And puppet shows, puppet shows.
Y habían marionetas.
Yeah, títeres. Yeah. So everybody could understand.
Para que todos pudieran entender.
And then many thousands of people would then start to chant Hare Krishna.
Y miles de personas empezaban a cantar Hare Krishna.
And the brahmanas would then ask for copies of the books.
Y los brahmanas pedían copias de los libros.
Because I don't know any much more than that.
Y no sé más de eso.
Sí, no, en relación a esos festivales, dice que ellos tres realizaron el primer Gaura Purnima en Nantagram. Y como usted mencionaba, si se encontró Raghunatha Thakur con el señor Chaitanya, en el relato, en el Gaura Purnima que realizaron en Nantagram, dice que en uno de los días que estaban en los kirtan estáticos, apareció en toda la multitud de devotos que estaban cantando el Mahamantra, vinieron corriendo todo el Panchatattva.
¿Habéis escuchado todos?
Yeah.
Es hermoso.
The first time I went to Vrindavan
La primera vez que fui a Vrindavan
was in 1978.
fue en 1978.
And it was the first Theravada festival for Prabhupada.
Y era el primer festival de la desaparición de Śrīla Prabhupada.
And maybe only 100 devotees there from ISKCON.
Y habría solo unos 100 devotos de ISKCON.
150 maybe.
Quizás 150.
Yeah, and Prabhupada's samadhi was a telephone booth.
Y la samadhi de Śrīla Prabhupada era como una cabina de teléfono.
Yeah, that's all it was. So we would do the arti outside.
Y hacíamos el arti afuera.
Yeah. And there were no motor rickshaws.
Y ahí no había rickshaws, dos rickshaws.
Yeah, had pedal, just pedal rickshaws.
Solamente había de pedal.
Yeah, and there were real beggars and real street dogs.
Y había mendigos y perros callejeros de verdad.
Yeah, people with, they had rags on,
Tenían harapos.
Yeah. And the street dogs and the pigs were fighting for garbage.
Y los perros callejeros y los cerdos se peleaban por la comida.
Yeah, some diseases would come.
y ahí había ciertas
and
enfermedades
infect all the street dogs.
y afectaba a todos estos perros callejeros
And all their hair would fall off,
y el pelo se les caía
and their skin would become red and infected,
y la piel se le quedaba roja e
with
infectada.
blood coming out of the cracks. Yeah, cracks in their skin with
Y
blood coming.
había rajas en la piel que les salía la pus.
So Prabhupada's American disciples,
Los discípulos americanos de Prabhupada,
he said, if you do these bad things, you become dogs in your next lifetime.
dice, si haces todas esas cosas malas, te volverás un perro en la siguiente vida.
The American devotees, this was not very, impressive.
Y para los devotos americanos eso no era como muy
I
impresionante.
don't know how it is in Spain, but if you go into a supermarket in the United States,
No sé cómo será en España, pero si vais a un supermercado en los Estados Unidos,
there's an entire row of different kinds of dog food.
hay todo un pasillo lleno de diferentes tipos de comida de perro.
And not all of it is being eaten by dogs.
Y no es que toda sea comida por los perros.
Yeah, many poorer people also buy it.
Hay gente pobre que también la compra.
Yeah. So their idea of becoming a dog was not,
La idea de volverse un perro no era algo como muy malo.
I get good food,
Me van a dar buena comida
nice haircut.
y me van a cortar bien el pelo, me van a hacer bien peinado.
So when they were walking in Vrindavan in those days,
Cuando caminábamos en Vrindava aquellos días
and there were these horrible street dogs,
y veíamos esos perros callejeros horribles,
Prabhupada said,
Prabhupada dijo,
this is dog.
esto es un perro.
How we understand.
Y ahí nosotros entendíamos lo que era un perro.
Yeah. So everything's changing,
Hay mucho que está cambiando.
Yeah. The first year I went was the first time I met Bhaktisvarupa Damodar Swami.
El primer año que fui fue el año que me encontré por primera vez con Bhaktisvarupa Damodar
And
Swami.
he was very particular about being there for every Samadhi festival for Prabhupada.
Y él no se perdía ni un festival del Samadhi de Śrīla Prabhupada.
Yeah, he was. I mean, you could argue
Alguien podría argumentar
that he was the culturally most mature person in all of ISKCON at that time.
que en aquel entonces él era la persona más culta en ISKCON.
Yeah, because ISKCON Manipur is a very remote place.
Pues Manipur es un lugar remoto
Yeah, so there was not much industrialization.
y no había mucha industrialización allí.
Yeah, Bhaktisvarupa Swami, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, Raghunatha Maharaj, they all went to the university.
Raghunatha Maharaj, Bhaktisvarupa Swami y Gopal Krishna Maharaj, todos fueron a la universidad
To get a Western education.
para conseguir una educación occidental.
Yeah, but for Swarup Damodar,
Pero Swarupa Damodar
first he had to get to Calcutta.
primero tuvo que ir a Calcuta
Yeah, and then he had to succeed there.
y tuvo que tener éxito allí.
Then he got a diploma to Buffalo University.
Y entonces le dieron un diploma para ir a la Universidad de Buffalo.
Then he succeeded there.
Allí tuvo éxito.
Then he got a beca to the University of California.
Y le dieron una beca para la Universidad de California.
Yeah, so I think he was the second person to get a doctorate in Manipur.
Y era la segunda persona en Manipur que había conseguido un doctorado.
His father was a kirtan leader,
Su padre era un líder de Kirtan.
but both his father and mother left their body when he was pretty young.
Pero todos su padre y su madre fallecieron cuando él era muy joven.
And so one of his aunts, raised him.
Y fue una de sus tías el que lo crió.
So he was convinced,
Él estaba convencido
that science will help everybody.
que la ciencia iba a ayudar a todos
The United States is leading everybody.
y que los Estados Unidos está liderando a todos,
They have the right idea.
que tienen las ideas
Yeah.
correctas.
So he wanted to become a chemist
Y él quería volverse un químico
so he could make medicines
para que pudiera crear medicinas
to help people.
para ayudar a la gente.
So finally he ended up in California.
Finalmente terminó allí en California
And he had the impression of the Hare Krishnas
Y su impresión sobre los Hare Krishnas
they were all hippies,
es que todos eran hippies.
There was one movie,
Había una película,
it was called Hare Krishna, Hare Ram or something.
Down, Body Down.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. And so he was portraying the devotees as red monkeys.
Y en esta película, había una película en la India famosa que presentaba a los devotos como monos rojos,
Yeah, just drinking and doing all kinds of things with boys and girls.
bebiendo y haciendo todo tipo de cosas entre chicos y chicas.
Yeah, and then going out chanting.
Y luego salían a la calle a cantar.
And he didn't have much contact with devotees.
Y él no tenía mucho contacto con los devotos.
But the movie became popular.
Pero esa película se volvió famosa.
So it was one thing that the devotees had to fight against.
Y eso es algo que los devotos tuvieron que luchar contra eso.
So Damodar Maharaj had that idea about, devotees.
Y esa es la idea que tenía Swarupa Damodar sobre los
Oh, they're
devotos.
just hippies following things exterior.
Y siguiendo las cosas así externamente.
So after many years,
Después de muchos años,
the producer of the movie,
el productor de la película,
director,
el director,
he actually came to Prabhupada in Mayapur,
vino a ver a Prabhupada en Mayapur
and he used to apologize very seriously.
y le pidió disculpas muy
He said,
seriamente.
I've done a terrible thing.
Hice algo terrible.
And Prabhupada, Prabhupada chastised him,
Y Prabhupada lo reprendió,
not very harshly.
no muy fuertemente.
He said, yes, you've done a very bad thing.
Sí, hiciste algo muy malo.
And you didn't investigate properly.
No hiciste una investigación.
So now you should do another movie.
Ahora tienes que hacer otra película.
Yeah, like that. So anyway, Maharaj was in Los Angeles,
Pues Swarupa Damodar estaba en Los Ángeles,
actually Irvine, south of Los Angeles.
en el sur de Los Ángeles.
And he had one friend named Ramananda,
Y tenía un amigo que se llamaba Raghunatha,
who was associating a little bit with ISKCON and devotees.
que se asociaba un poco con los devotos de ISKCON
And Prabhupada
y Prabhupada.
said, no, they're very nice people.
Y le decía, no, esta gente es
They
muy
have
maja,
nice kirtan, prasadam.
hacen kirtans maravillosos, muy buen
You
prashara.
should come with me on Sunday.
Deberías venir conmigo un domingo.
So he said he was always refusing.
Y decía que él siempre se negaba.
So funny, Ramananda said,
Y finalmente Raghunatha le dijo,
sing.
sí,
Unless you come with me, I'm never going to talk to you ever again.
como no vengas conmigo esta vez, ya no volveré a hablar contigo.
So it's so similar to Prabhupada.
Algo muy similar como lo que le pasó a Śrīla.
Prabhupada said, my friend, he dragged me.
Digo, mi amigo me llevó arrastrando.
So then he went to the temple,
Entonces fue al templo
and right away he was impressed.
y inmediatamente se vio impresionado.
And I think Ramananda took him right into a darshan.
Raghunatha lo llevó directamente al darshan.
And right away Prabhupada was talking to him, where are you from, everything.
Inmediatamente Prabhupada estaba ahí hablando con él,
Maybe.
preguntándole de dónde eres.
Maybe 25 years old.
Él tendría unos 25 años.
Yeah. And that was it. He was totally convinced.
Y ahí fue todo.
He
Se
wanted to
convenció
quit.
completamente.
He wanted to quit the university, become a full-time brahmachari.
Él quería dejar la universidad y volverse brahmachari.
Prabhupada wouldn't let him.
Pero Prabhupada no lo dejó.
He said, no, for preaching you need this PhD.
No, le dijo, no, necesitas este doctorado para la prédica.
It's like Lord Chaitanya. He had become a Mayavadi sannyasi, a Shankara sannyasi,
Es como el señor Chaitanya se tuvo que volver un sannyasi mayavadi
because everybody respected that.
para que la gente lo respetara.
So he was doing an experiment
Así que él hacía un experimento
with different enzymes, catalysts,
con diferentes enzimas
and they
catalizadores
had to run the experiment,
y tenía que hacer el experimento,
record the results,
anotar los resultados,
then do the same experiment again,
de nuevo hacer el mismo experimento
different kinds of catalysts.
con diferentes tipos de catalizadores.
So most people would do it 2 times each day.
La mayoría de la gente lo haría 2 veces al día.
But Swarupa Damodar wanted to finish off. He wanted to join ISKCON.
Pero Swarupa Damodar, él quería acabar con todo y unirse a ISKCON.
So he moved his bed into the laboratory.
Entonces se llevó la cama al laboratorio
Every 4 hours he would wake up and finish it.
y cada 4 horas se despertaba para hacer sus
And
pruebas.
his professor was very impressed.
Y su profesor estaba muy impresionado,
So he got the doctorate,
así que consiguió su doctorado
and his professor got an award for the thing.
y el profesor le dieron un reconocimiento al profesor.
Yeah. And then he became full-time devotee.
Y entonces se volvió devoto.
And then so much association with Prabhupada.
Y él tuvo tanta asociación con Śrīla
And
Prabhupada.
then Prabhupada knew different people have different nature.
Y Prabhupada sabía que diferentes personas tienen una naturaleza
Yeah.
diferente.
He never pushed George Harrison to get initiated, right?
Al George Harrison nunca le empujó para que se iniciara,
No, because he understood different people are in different positions.
porque él entendía que hay diferentes personas con situaciones diferentes.
Sri Damodar went out with the Harinam program on Saturday night
Sri Damodar iba al programa de Harinam los sábados por la noche
in Los Angeles,
en Los Ángeles,
Hollywood.
en Hollywood.
The next day he said he saw Srila Prabhupada the next morning.
Y a la siguiente mañana se encontró con Śrīla Prabhupada.
He said, Prabhupada, last night
Dijo Śrīla Prabhupada, anoche
I distributed 80 magazines
distribuí 80 revistas
for $1 each.
con $1, con $1 cada una.
Now that would be probably 20 euros. I don't know, a lot.
$80.
So he was thinking Prabhupada would be very happy.
Y pensaba que Śrīla Prabhupada se iba a poner muy contento.
Because Prabhupada was pushing book distribution so much.
Porque Śrīla Prabhupada empujaba mucho la distribución de libros.
They said, Prabhupada said, oh, very good, very nice.
Y Śrīla Prabhupada le dijo, muy bien,
Yeah, but come here, there's something I want you to do.
pero hay algo que quiero que hagas.
Yeah, and he saw that different people had different ability.
Y él vio que diferentes personas tenían una habilidad diferente.
And he wanted him to preach in this academic atmosphere
Y él quería que él predicase en esta atmósfera académica.
to the academics,
A los académicos,
not to the students necessarily.
no a los estudiantes necesariamente.
So everybody has their nature, no?
Así que todos tienen su naturaleza.
Yeah. And maybe but maybe by the time we die,
Quizás cuando llegue el momento de morir,
we'll understand what is our position in the Sankirtan party.
entenderemos cuál es nuestra posición en el movimiento de
In our
Sankirtan.
next lifetime,
En la siguiente vida,
we can take birth in ISKCON again.
podremos nacer en el ISKCON otra vez
Yeah. So, give some help to the Gurukula.
y ayudar al Gurukula.
Yeah, because you may be in it in your next lifetime.
Por lo mismo tú estás ahí en la siguiente vida. En el Gurukula.
This scares GBC people.
Esto asusta a los GBCs.
Yeah, it's quite natural.
Es algo muy natural.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why he took up the science preaching,
Por eso tomó la prédica científica.
And of course, I got involved naturally.
Y pues, por supuesto, de forma natural yo me
My
involucré.
nature is
La naturaleza de Maharaj es
cultural anthropology
antropología cultural
or social psychology.
o psicología social.
Yeah. So I wasn't doing direct preaching in the Bhaktivedanta Institute.
No hacía prédica directa en el Instituto Bhaktivedanta.
Sadhaputta, other people.
Había otras personas como Sadhaputta.
One time, Sadhaputta gave a whole program in the Houston Temple,
Una vez Sadhaputta organizó todo un programa en el templo de Houston
talking about evolution.
hablando sobre la evolución.
And this was good,
Estaba muy
It was
bien,
very, very intellectual,
muy intelectual.
So the next day, they'd arranged a program for him at NASA,
Y el año siguiente organizaron un programa para él en la NASA.
and the devotees went there,
Y allí fueron los devotos.
and the devotees said,
Y los devotos dijeron,
they were sure
estaban seguros
that 50% of the people in the audience
que el 50% de la audiencia
were lost within the first 10 minutes.
se habían perdido en los primeros 10
They were
minutos.
just kind of following the general ideas.
No podían seguir, solo podían seguir las ideas así.
There was not a single English word on the blackboard.
No había ni una palabra inglesa en la pizarra.
Everything was advanced Greek symbols.
Todo eran símbolos griegos así avanzados.
But some of the people were just delighted.
Pero algunas personas estaban
Yeah, this is science, but with cosmic ideas.
esas ciencias, esas ideas cósmicas.
Yeah, so you have to know the language, you know.
Él tenía otro lenguaje.
Yeah. Anybody here know Portuguese?
¿Alguien entiende portugués?
Anybody here speak Fortran?
¿Alguien habla
How about C++? These are computer languages.
Hay lenguajes de ordenador.
So everybody's different. You know.
Pues todos somos diferentes.
So maybe then, so through Damodar Maharaj ki jai. Yeah. From following his preaching programs.
Siguiendo sus programas de prédica.
Then what is it? The última pregunta o comentario.
I want to take the chance to say something that happened to me in Maya one time.
Una vez en Mayapur,
I was, after Bhaktisvarupa Damodar Maharaj left the body,
puesto después de que Bhaktisvarupa Damodar dejó el cuerpo el año después,
there was a man in front of the temple in Mayapur, and they had the bhajans of Bhaktisvarupa Damodar Maharaj you could hear. No?
Y había una furgoneta frente al templo y ahí se podían escuchar, we could hear the bhajans of Bhaktisvarupa Damodar.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And when I heard this bhajan, suddenly I had some inner realization, like
When she heard these bhajans, she had an inner realization. Cuando escuchó los bhajans, tuvo una realización interior.
that I should tell to everyone that Bhaktisvarupa Damodar Maharaj is a pure devotee.
Que tengo que decir a todos que Bhaktisvarupa Damodar es un devoto puro.
I should like propagate this information.
Y que debo propagar esta información.
And when Bhaktisvarupa Damodar Maharaj left the body, his travel agent was making his ticket to go to Manipur the next day.
Cuando Bhaktisvarupa Damodar dejó su cuerpo, su agente de viajes le estaba arreglando el billete para ir a Manipur el día siguiente para Maharaj.
And when in the morning he called the brahmacharis who are serving Maharaj to tell them that the ticket is ready.
Y por la mañana estaba llamando a los sirvientes de Maharaj para decirle que el billete estaba listo.
And he told them something strange happened to me.
Y les dijo, ocurrió algo extraño.
I dreamed that Maharaj was on a vimana going to Vaikuntha. And he
Soñé
goodbye.
que Maharaj iba en un vimana hacia Vaikuntha y me decía adiós.
And the devotees told him he just left the body.
Y los devotos le dijeron, acaba de dejar el cuerpo.
And another incident, I had some relationship with
Travel
him.
agent.
One incident in Bombay, I was in the temple,
Y una vez en Bombay, ella estaba en el templo
but nobody was there.
y allí no había nadie.
So Maharaj came in, he didn't see me,
Maharaj vino, no la vio,
and he went straight to Prabhupada's Vyasa-san, he paid dandavats,
fue al Vyasa-san de Prabhupada, ofreció dandavats.
and then he noticed that the platform in front of Prabhupada was not green.
Y vio que la plataforma enfrente del Vyasa-san no estaba limpia.
And he took his sannyas cloth and he cleaned that with such a humility. I noticed the
Entonces cogió su tarilla, su ropa de sanidad y limpió todo.
humble mood he had in front of his guru.
Era una actitud muy humilde la que tenía
It was
frente a su
very,
guru.
very impressive. It was
Era muy impresionante.
Oh, see. Yeah. But that's because that's money for.
Eso es mantra.
They follow these different rituals, you know.
Ellos siguen estos tipos diferentes de rituales.
And that's why more than anybody in ISKCON, he had that character.
Y más que cualquiera en ISKCON él tenía ese carácter.
Despite being a big scientist and everything.
A pesar de que era un gran científico y todo eso.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Haribo, Hanumatpresaka Maharaj ki
Jai.
Bhaktivedanta Institute ki
Jai.
Also, that Damodar asked Prabhupada if they could have their own laboratory and do experiments, prove Vedic conclusions. And Prabhupada said, yes, if you have the money and it's possible to do it. He said, but since they already have, they already have so much information there. Really, all you have to do is just go through it and explain it in a better fashion. And he said, and then they'll ask you, well, how did you get this perspective? And you say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Our perspective like that. So Prabhupada wasn't opposed to, doing it, but he said, yes, it's a fact. They have so much information, and they themselves are saying that Nobel laureate Charles Towns, he discovered a laser, and they got a copyright on it, patent, a lot of money. A very nice person. Anyway, he was participating in our programs, and he said, the reason I'm helping you and other people also I know, is because in the time of, Sir Isaac Newton and everybody, we were discovering all these things, And Newton came along with the laws of optics, the laws of gravity, and this kind of stuff, and we could put it together. Then he said about the time we got to the atomic physics and this kind of stuff, we were discovering all these things, these bombs and everything else. And, it was the same thing, But then along came, de Broglie, James Dean, Einstein, everybody, and they made these different systems, explained it. But he said the same thing is happening now. We're getting more and more scientific anomalies, things we can't understand, So what you do is you kind of put them over here, and later on we'll explain them, But he said what's happening is the pile is getting so big, it's just about, just to flood the whole thing where, we scientists know everything. Yeah, certain things, yeah. And so he said that's why the ideas that you're presenting from Asia, have very, very interesting, content.
Assign a name, a scientific name to the Atma, to the soul.
Oh, yeah.
How was that name? He said he was calling the spiritual particle.
Damodar.
Yes, a scientific name.
Wow.
That he made himself that name.
Because every community has their jargon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way they talk about things and communicate stuff subtly.
Yeah.
So he wrote a book about, I forgot what it was called, Krishna the Supreme Scientist or something, which was really good. But he was doing it all in the jargon of chemists, which physicists, they would catch it, but they wouldn't, And the way he was describing the soul, for example, if you get free radical oxygen, it's so bound up in the molecule, it's very difficult to separate it. So chemically, it's a very solid, substantial thing. So he was describing that the Atma gets involved with matter in the same way, using this language and stuff. And there is a soul, but it's like this. And so these chemists were like, yeah, we don't see it, but it's just a fact. They said, and if you know the process, you can, very well, and do it, you can separate it. So it was written just the way that certain chemists and stuff could accept it, and they could come to the point of saying Sambandha Abhideya. Okay, what is the process saying? And of course, so many people are in different areas, so you gotta come down to their language. One time in Boise, Idaho, one of our members, his father came, and he had been a captain on a Indian Navy warship, maybe something like it. maybe a little bit below a cruiser, trip guy, And so Nantarupa was preaching and this and that and stuff, we have to surrender to Krishna and so forth and so on. And the guy was like, arguing and stuff, he's coming in contact first time with devotees for the first time. This idea came to me, I said to Nantarupa, do not use the word surrender. Yeah. No, he caught it right away. Like, exactly, that just came to me. Yeah, then the guy, there's certain words, just a military person.
You cannot surrender.
No. Yeah. Surrender to Krishna. It means I'll be a coward. That means you could use the right words. Yes. Germans. Do you know how to drive all the Germans out of the temple? Hans Saduda told us the secret. Stop serving potatoes for 1 week.
All the Germans will go.
All the Peruvians, all too.
I may also go all that.
I know. You ask in Peru how many people like potatoes. Like, yeah. Wow.
Potato.
Italians?
Pasta.
Yeah. Americans? Peanut butter and ice cream. Yeah.
Ice cream.
Peanut butter was invented in America.
I had 2 American Swamis having lunch at my house.
Oh yeah?
And I went to serve them ice cream. So I had 1 kg ice cream.
Yeah.
And I gave a little bit, they took the whole box. And then I brought another box, took the other box.
I know.
After eating.
Yeah.
They are really American Swamis. Govinda Maharaj and Indra Yunaswami.
Yeah. They're big warrior type.
After 30 years, I told Govinda Maharaj this.
Yeah.
He told me, it looked like me, yes.
Yeah.
He told me, it looked like me.
Yeah.
Yes. 30 years after, I think I was doing that, yes. You remember?
It was Indra Maharaj was the Marine Corps, right?
Yeah.
He's Marines, yeah. They eat a lot.